else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Got some room at the 30. They find some open field here. And all the way up to the 46. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, sometimes a tough game to figure out. One play he looks so good, and then the next play so bad, going backwards.
Yeah, in a span of 2 plays, you go from hero to GOAT, right, to use one of the cliches. But I think what often happens is you have a big run, and sometimes you try to do too much with your next one.
A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught by Hilton. A good pickup there at 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout.
3-19.
Rodgers to throw once more. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll make it third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw is Rodgers. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. This one from 35 yards away. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll set up to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep. Back up. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And now out come the Jags. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 44. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
The great move couldn't free him. Taken down at the 10. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Detroit!
Now back to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Rodgers now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Well, they try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a handoff looking right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Bucky Hodges, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. They go play action here on first down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Being chased out left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll drop to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got it complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And they get 14 yards there at a first down.
I'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
And oh, it caught up!
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back now in Arlington. And they'll run it here. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, Incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points. Go by the way.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. 14 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And he's got it up and through. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now this time Rodgers will throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll field this at the 5. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Back to throw, eluding the pressure right. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And they'll go on the ground, and they'll get him down right around the 16. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Gun! Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Rodgers now to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Flush to his right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does, is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And throw right side complete to Parker. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He's to the 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great...
He's got him in. Complete. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Cortland Sutton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion. And they will not get the 2 points here, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. And that will be the final snap of the ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well.